All right, everybody, if you would give it up for the Boyd Trio for that wonderful musical interlude tonight. What a great job. Thank you, gentlemen. That was wonderful. Really appreciate everybody being here tonight. My name is Todd Boyer, and for those of you who don't know me, I currently serve as the Vice President of Corporate Communications at Ohio Mutual in Bucyrus, and I also have the privilege of being the President of the Board for the partnership at this time. Our program tonight is designed to celebrate a little history and to focus on a greater future over the next hour. Now, I said the next hour. Gary told me that I should say 30 minutes. Now, those of you who have been to a meeting with Gary before, I'd say keep the money on me, but I'm just saying. So we'll see, but it will be a fast 30 minutes or an hour, whatever it is, that we have some exciting things to be able to share tonight, some wonderful things to celebrate, some wonderful history and accomplishments to be able to recognize as well. So before we get into the meat of the program, I would like to take a few minutes and make some introductions. First, I'd like to start with our board of directors, followed by our staff. So first, I'd like to recognize our executive committee for the amazing amount of work and advice and wisdom that they bring to this organization. So if you would just, if you're here tonight and I say your names, you just kind of wave to everybody so we know where you are and then we can recognize you at the end. So first of all is our Vice President Cindy Wood from The Ohio State University, our Secretary Tanya Iyer from the Stone and Iyer Law Firm. We have Treasurer Brandy Hepp from First Federal Community Bank. We have our at-large member, Doug Luthold from Advanced Fiber Tech, and our past president, Pat Hord from the Hord Family Farms. In addition to the executive committee, we also have board members Monica Bess, Josh Fleck, Jesse Ferner, Chris Heiner, Keith Hummel, Dr. Chris Johnson, Miranda Jones, Kim Legge, Steve Reinhardt, Heath Watkins, and Kim Winkle. And let me tell you, those folks are very, very committed to the work of the partnership and invest a lot of time. In addition to those folks, we have our public sector representatives on the board, which are county commissioners, Tim Lay, Larry Schmidt, and Doug Weisenauer, the mayors of our 3 cities in Crawford County, Jeff Reeser, Linda Pitt, and Tom O'Leary, and our county auditor, who until just a little while ago was Joan Wolf, who we congratulate her on her recent retirement. So over the years, the Crawford Partnership has transitioned from a volunteer-driven organization to a staff-driven organization. And we are incredibly fortunate to have a passionate, professional, and dedicated staff working to improve the business climate and the community life in Crawford County, and I'd like to recognize that staff now. So first of all, we have Gary Frankhouse, our Economic and Executive Director. Gary's been with the partnership for 7 years. Aaron Stein, our Community Development Director, has been with the partnership 4.5 years. Nancy Clutter, our Administrative Assistant, has 5 years. And then Sarah Hurley, 2 years. And Sherry Tinch-Greeter, who just celebrated her 1-year anniversary, serves as our Community Opportunity Workforce Program Director. You have the longest title in the world. Yeah. So when the partnership evolved and matured from a volunteer to a staff-driven organization, one thing that has not changed for over the years is the need for and the vision of our investors. We currently have more than 40 active investors who have contributed anywhere from $500 to $100,000 to further the work of the partnership. They support the greater good that's done through this organization. From the founding days, it's been citizens and businesses, and more recently, local government officials who have believed in the vision of a better Crawford and have put their money where their vision is. This community owes our selfless investors a tremendous debt of gratitude and appreciation. We're here tonight to celebrate the accomplishments of a vision inspired, created, and executed, and to celebrate and cast a new vision. We've gathered to celebrate our hometown community, to renew old acquaintances, and to reconnect faces and names. And I don't know about you, but the hour we just spent visiting with the band and talking with folks went fast. We probably could have done that for another hour and kept it up and maybe gone longer than that. So it just is a reminder of how much we enjoy the opportunity to be together and celebrate being part of a community. So let's not forget that, and let's not take it for granted either. We've opted for a less formal evening, as you've seen tonight from some of our previous meetings, so that we could spend that time reconnecting with each other. And we want to celebrate the rollout of the Crawford 2030 Vision Plan. We'll still be highlighting the achievements that we have within economic, community, and workforce development, but our focus tonight will be on sharing and unveiling the plan for Crawford County's next decade. So we have a number of organizations that I want to make sure we recognize and thank tonight for their contribution to allowing us to have this time here and to make it what it is. So specifically to the Avita catering operation, everybody, thank you for the food and for making all the yummy goods. We appreciate that tonight. The Hub for providing a great facility that we could gather in. As I mentioned, the Boyd Trio providing some awesome music. And unfortunately, they've got to duck out, go to another gig tonight, so they're not going to be able to be here for after all the programming, but we sure enjoyed having them up to this point. A1 Printing, who has helped out with our printing materials. Norton's Flowers, if you recognize the work on the center of your table. And the Ohio Mutual Insurance Group, who we did a little bit of extra help as well. So on a personal note, I've had the privilege of being at the table in 2010 when, after a series of community meetings across the county, the Crawford 2020 vision was drafted and became the blueprint for this organization and Crawford County. And at that time, we had an entirely different set of community needs and priorities. We had an entirely different staff. We had an entirely different board of directors. And we had lots of hope that a coordinated effort could move Crawford County forward. It's been a wonderful journey to observe from my unique perspective and to see all of the effort and passion and selfless commitment that has created lasting and positive change for this community. And now, a decade later, we can celebrate a number of accomplishments, but we can also focus our eyes on the next horizon, 2030, where a bold vision for this community is now perched. So at this time, please give your attention to Gary Frankhouse and Aaron Stein as they unfold the vision and development of our 2030 plan.
You ready to do this?
We said it was going to be casual, so here you go.
Here we go. Please don't mind my Bob Barker microphone. So we just wanted to take a few minutes just as we got started. Like Todd had said, this is a night that we were so excited just to gather again. We didn't want to spend the entire night with very structured programming and a lot of agenda items. What we wanted to do was ensure that we got together again. Last year, many of you were in the room in your own homes when we did our State of the Vision virtually, and it's just so wonderful to be here with you all tonight. So I would be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that today is Veterans Day. This is such an important day in our country, and I just wanted to take a moment. If you are a veteran and have served our country, could you please stand up?
Aaron and I both want to thank you so much from the deepest parts of our hearts. Both of our families have had family members that have served, and I think we live in a great country. Doesn't mean we're perfect, nothing really is perfect, but the fact that we're always striving to be perfect, we're able to do that because of all of you. You fight for our freedom, you put your life on the line, and we continue to do that day in and day out. And the thing that I love about our country is we're always looking for the best for humanity. And I think that speaks to what even the partnership's trying to do. So thank you so much. We do apologize that we made it tonight, and I know several of you were off today and you made special arrangements to be here. I did hear that free beer helped, so that's a good note.
And a jazz band, of course.
And a jazz band. So, but in all sincerity, we do appreciate it very much, and we appreciate those freedoms we have.
So typically at our State of the Vision events, this is the time of the evening in which we would invite a keynote speaker up to talk. And we've had some incredible speakers, from Jeremy Kubicek to Michael Jr. We've had some amazing people come up and speak to our community. They usually give us little pearls of wisdom to kind of carry us through the next year and get us excited about what's to come. But as we were trying to think about what we wanted to do this year, we realized that launching the next vision plan for our county was important enough to stand on its own. So tonight we were eager to share that with you, and Gary and I are going to, we've got a little bit of a Sonny and Cher or a Regis and Kathy Lee vibe going. You can decide who's who, but we decided that this would be a better and more authentic way to share this plan with you tonight, because it is genuine, and it took a lot of hard work from a lot of people in this room and in this community. So we were just really excited to share that with you tonight.
I told Aaron that I wanted to share with all of you. It was about a week and a half ago. I had an opportunity to go down to Columbus to sit in on an economic development conference meeting. And what was said was that every community is unique. Every community has unique needs. We're different from Delaware. We're different from Columbus. We're different from cities that are in counties that are even smaller than us. And it's up to us to set that strategic plan. And I thought that was so fitting leading into the fact that we were going to introduce the 2030 plan tonight, because this really is, and you'll see, this is your plan. This is not Aaron and I's plan, and Aaron's going to talk a lot about that, but it makes me proud to know that we have a plan. And so when we have these opportunities for whatever it might be, whether it's a federal program or a state program, we can actually put that plan on the table and say, how can you deny 41,000 people? This is what they said they wanted, and we'll talk a little bit more about that.
So as the process of the plan started coming about, obviously after last year, our State of the Vision that we talked about 2020, we talked about the last decade, we talked about all the things we'd accomplished, all the people that had been at the table, all the things that we did, all the things that we were proud of. And now as we got into 2021, we realized it's time. We've got to set a new plan for the next decade. So we connected with a group out of Cleveland called New Growth. New Growth was here a decade ago, and they helped us craft the 2020 plan. So they are a strategic planning group. They work with economic and community development organizations all over the country. And they helped us because they know us. They knew Crawford County. They knew where we were. They knew where we wanted to go. So they really helped us kind of, facilitate and walk beside us through this process. So the first thing we did is we sat down as a staff. Let me see here. Does anybody recognize this guy? Lisa, I know you know this. Todd, you intimately know this guy. So this is the original 2020 vision plan. All right, this is what was crafted a decade ago by the community, by the leadership of Dave Williamson, by that board that was in place at the time, and the community at that time. This plan has guided our organization, the partnership. This is what we use to instruct us as to projects we took on, things that we would do. We used it as really like our guiding principles as to how we conducted our business at the partnership. So that was a really important thing for our staff to sit down and kind of assess what's working. What's still working, what's not working, what do we need to evolve, what do we need to change? So that was a really important part. The next thing we did is, obviously, Todd mentioned tonight, we have an extremely robust board of directors. So in that 2020 plan, it guided us to create this board that would help guide us as we move forward. So as you can see, we've got sector representatives from everywhere.
Yeah, one of the things that I think has always been so impressive to me ever since I joined the partnership as a business owner, just sitting on the vision committee, which was part of the 2020 plan, was the diversity of reach out to all of the different communities, the different industries. So in addition to these sectors, whether it's agriculture, financial, insurance, nonprofit, education, manufacturing, healthcare, legal, real estate, and local government, all creating that pie chart, so we had a diverse perspective. Then we had all the localities as well. So it was really a communication with the community, and that always impressed me. So we felt like it was really important to go to the board, and I was really glad that we did, because right away, Todd pointed something out right out of the gates. He's like, I want to look out the windshield as much as the next guy. We want to be moving forward. It's all part of the plan. But let's just look in the rearview mirror for 1 second, because we can learn from history. And he pointed out that we needed to reach back out to the community and see what we had done well or what we hadn't done well, things we needed to improve on. The reality is not everybody likes what we do. And that's good to know because it gives us the perspective of how we can change and evolve and adapt. So that board element brought that for us to the process.
Right, so the next thing we did was, like Gary said, we had to start talking to some stakeholders. And stakeholders didn't just mean getting people in the room that were big Aaron and Gary fans. We had to get people in the room that were going to give us their honest feedback. We were going to have to get people in the room that understood where we were trying to go, but where we could still improve. I'll be honest, this was one of the more challenging parts of creating this plan. We have a lot of supporters. This room is full of them. And we have a lot of people that want to challenge us to do more. And we're totally open to that. So we had to really work to harness all of those things, our staff, our board, and our stakeholders, and really try to get a plan in place that had strategies that laid out that we felt like we could all kind of meet in the middle and figure out and come to a consensus as to where we wanted to go. So then the next important thing then is the community. So if you go back, could you go back one slide for me, Sarah? So one of my mentors, of course, Dave Williamson, famously said, if the community helps you write a plan, they will help you underwrite it. Okay? They are going to help you carry that plan to fruition. So that was so important to us, going back to these community surveys. So then what we did, we reached out to the community and we said, okay, we've sat down with our board, our stakeholders, everyone that we can think of. Here's what we've got. What do you think? Rank this stuff in order of importance, because some of the things that we felt were really important, the community told us otherwise. They said, you know what, actually, we rank these things a little bit more important. This is what we really want to see. So that was extremely imperative to this process. So like Gary said, this wasn't Aaron and Gary sitting down and creating a document. This was the entire Crawford County community coming together to help us, much like they did with the 2020 plan. So I wanted to take just a quick second and comment, that plan that's in front of you, that book that's in front of you, that's almost a year's worth of work. That is incredible and beautiful printing by A1 Printing. That is extremely hard work from Laura Weir, who we hired to help us craft this beautiful plan. This is Sarah Hurley, a staff member who was incredible throughout this process, who helped us create a plan that our community could really be proud of. So
you forgot one person. I had asked Aaron and tasked her with meeting with Chris and Casey over the course of that year, and I think early on it was maybe once a month, but at the end it turned into every Friday, and just to see how things evolved and changed with that input and just wordsmithing, it was impressive. So a tremendous effort.
Well, thanks. Okay, so now let's move on to kind of explaining how we've shifted this plan. Those of you that were familiar with the 2020 plan, we really had a programmatic approach, which really meant that the partnership our success was gauged on the amount of programs we were able to do or to say yes to, which we have a chronic problem of saying yes to everything. And so we realized we had a program after program after program after program. And the partnership was really designed to potentially incubate programs and then set them free. Let them stand on their own. Crawford Works is a great example of that. We had this mindset of programmatic being what we needed to do, and we realized as we started to move forward that we needed to shift into more of an organizational approach and really just give those pillars, workforce, community, and economic development, those pillars the time to stand on their own and to shine on their own.
One thing I would add right there is sometimes it may be perceived as it's the Crawford Partnership Show, and that is not what it is. What it's meant to be is we as the employees that wake up every day trying to figure out a way to make Crawford County better, listening to what our community's saying, what our stakeholders, what our board is saying, and then bringing those programs to life. But if we have a plan that's set maybe 5, 4, 3 years ago that says you need to do this, 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 and this, how do you know what today offers? And I think this past year, maybe 2 years, has been witness to that. I mean, who would have ever thought in a million years we would have shut our country down? So when I think about that being a business owner, what we did is this country adapted, we were flexible, and we changed at the speed of business. And that's what we need to do as a county. So our role is not to be the Crawford Partnership Show. Our role is to incubate and be able to launch the ideas of all of you. So that really is the effort, and whether it's Crawford Works, whether it's the Success Center, those are great examples. So.
Sorry, I was blocking the signal.
Okay,
yeah.
So this is the accountant in me. I don't like to read and write a lot. So this 45-page document is beautiful and I love it. But I wanted to simplify it. And then we created this one-pager, which is right here, that you guys also have on your table. And our hope is that with this quick understanding of this one-sheeter, you can explain to anyone what we do. So we've got our pillars, the economic development, the community development, and the workforce at the top. And then just below that, you'll see what community level indicators. So what are you trying to do there? What are you trying to improve? How can we hold you accountable? Are you going to increase sales tax? Are you going to increase population? Are you going to increase the average median hourly income in your community, thus increasing the average household income, which are all things that communities like Delaware are doing to prosper. So those are those community level indicators. And then right below that, well, here's the strategies on how we think we're going to do that in each of those categories. And then finally are the goals. So they're broad, but when a program or a grant offers itself in one of those areas, it allows us to quickly adapt and apply that. So whether it's retention and expansion or attraction or it's a downtown revitalization, which by the way, I just want to give a shout out to Joe and Gretchen. You want to talk about people moving at the speed of business and doing a complex like this. This is amazing. And it's a guy that doesn't just talk the talk, he walks the walk. Joe, this is beautiful. It's awesome. We're glad to be here. And Crawford County is fortunate. And these are the kind of things that happen when we row together. We need to support and make these things work. He has a wonderful staff back there, and I can't say enough. And it ties in to all these things that as we move as a community, we see where there's need and we make it happen. We help make it happen, actually, because under economic development, expand access to resources. It's my job to find money and find grants and do those things for all of you.
So the last thing I'll say about the plan, so one of the things that we heard consistently in the feedback when we were braced asking the community what we could do better and what they needed from us. Transparency was a word that we kept hearing a lot. We want to know what you're doing. We want to know what you have going on. And it's important to note we have an incredible website. Sarah has done an amazing job creating a website that's full of resources. Our I Am Crawford videos on there. Gary just did a video there for codes and permits. We have all of our upcoming projects, our past projects. We are extremely active on social media. There's never a shortage of information about what we're up to out there. So I would encourage you, if you're not already on our mailing list, if you don't follow us on social media, please do so. We're sharing everything that we can with you as often as we can. The layout, like Gary said, of our community level indicators, our strategies and our goals, it's a very clear way for us also to hold ourselves accountable and for you to hold us accountable. We now have a better way to report to you, to report to the community, to share with you what we're up to. So we're just really excited about this plan. We hope that you are as excited as we are about this plan. I said it was a lot of Zoom meetings. It was a lot of planning this via computer screen and a lot of really tough conversations, a lot of looking inward and figuring out what we can do better. And again, I think it was worthy of a real spotlight tonight.
So hopefully we've shown you a lot of collaboration, whether it's with our board members, our communities, and stakeholders. So we're going to transition here, and I'm going to grab some notes. So indulge me because I don't want to miss anything. This is the award part of our presentation. We've got some great individuals and organizations out there doing some things. So I'm going to shift a little bit more to a reading rather than casual talk. So in that collaborative spirit, we'd like to take a moment and honor the 2021 Collaboration Award winner, the Crawford County Commissioners, sitting right here. The Collaboration Award is intended to celebrate an individual, group, or organization that aligns with the Crawford Partnership's values to be passionate, community-focused, and collaborative. The recipient demonstrates exemplary collaboration with area organization, community leaders, and other key participants to accomplish outcomes of positive change in the Crawford County community. Under the leadership of Tim Lay, Doug Weisenauer, and Larry Schmidt, Crawford County has seen wonderful collaboration and growth. The role of county commissioner requires that one take a broad view of the needs of a county to make it a better place to live and work, and they must listen to the needs of citizens and other elected officials, compromise, and develop a consensus on priority issues. We are celebrating tonight the spirit of collaboration in which the commissioners have time and time again shown through their actions, whether it's a collaboration with the partnership on projects like this past winter we did mobile hotspots for our school districts, or being a part of a transportation improvement district, which we refer to as a TID, or we're working with cities to annex land and maybe bring an Aldi's to town. They consistently work with townships on efforts such as creation of community reinvestment areas, which Polk Township recently did, and they help to lead crucial work for our county land bank, which I think the last time I attended a land bank, and Jennifer can correct me, it was over 80 homes have been removed, and that Blythe has been cleaned up. They've also led the COVID response and the American Recovery Dollar Plan distribution. They have an incredible ability to work with cross-cutting sectors of our community, local government, and regional partners to ensure that our community is moving forward. We are so fortunate to have these gentlemen at the helm of our county, and tonight we honor them with the 2021 Collaboration Award. If the two of you could come up for the presentation of the award.
I just want to say thank you to the partnership, Gary. It could not have happened in our Crawford County without this guy and this team that the board has assembled is fantastic. Great things happen when you have great people, and this Crawford partnership is great people, starting with Gary, Aaron, Sarah, and Nancy, and Sherry. But when I've seen what they do and what they've done and what is going to happen, it's just unbelievable. It changed my whole outlook. And Gary, I can't say enough, you have assembled a great team. And great things are going to happen. Like you always told me, plant the seed, it will grow. And he's told me that for years, and it's coming. The TID, the 598, the Brant Road project, and all the projects that we started. But I got to say something else for our office. Great people we have in our office to look out for Crawford County people is great people that we have in our two clerks here tonight, and Ashley Hare and Annie Gosser. Can you please stand up and wave at everybody? Come on. But Gary, Larry and I and Doug have also surrounded us with great people to make great things happen. And our office is getting to be great with these two girls. And these girls tell us, commissioners, no, you can't spend it. No, you can't do that. But we want to spend more money. We want to have more projects, Gary, and to help you. But these two girls, they shake their fingers at us, and the Doug and I, no. So, but thank you for showing up tonight, and thank you, Gary, for tonight.
Nope, I'm good.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you, guys. And I'm going to hand it over to Aaron.
Thank you. Yes, I'm going to switch away from my Bob Barker mic. It was a little awkward. Okay, I am so excited to present this next award. So as Gary mentioned earlier, we have these community level indicators. So for community development, my community level indicator is population decline, specifically reversing population decline, or at least slowing population decline. And within that, we have strategies. And one of the strategies that I want to highlight tonight is that of the promotion of health and wellness. So this once-in-a-generation COVID-19 pandemic has really caused leaders to rise to the top. And the one that I'm going to talk about tonight is Crawford County Public Health. So in the time of rampant misinformation, keyboard cowboys, protesters, and more, Crawford County Public Health has remained steadfast and focused on their mission, that they will educate, empower, and improve the quality of life in Crawford County, and they will do it with compassion, respect, consistency, transparency, and accountability. Crawford County Public Health has 36 people that work in that office, and they closed not one single time during the pandemic, not once. Despite dealing with all of the increased responsibilities during the pandemic, they still had to continue to do all of their normal services. So that means that the health inspectors continue to conduct food inspections, water sampling, inspections at the landfill, and other environmental health duties. The nursing staff continue to report to the jail daily, complete their work with the Council on Aging, investigate, test, and treat people for STDs, provide measles, mumps, chickenpox, tetanus, etc. vaccinations for babies, children, and adults. The Help Me Grow social workers continue to work with their families and children up to age 3 and all of the families that had become pregnant and also needed services. The WIC staff never stopped providing nutrition education and filling nutrition supplementation cards, even when that meant that team was standing in the rain, in the parking lot, using yardsticks, putting clipboards through people's cars so they could maintain social distancing. The vital statistics staff still kept processing requests for birth and death records and issuing burial permits for funeral homes. Their services were needed and they never stopped serving our county. Combined, those staff members provided over 13,600 hours of COVID response between March 2020 and October of this year. Again, all while keeping up with all of their other duties. Crawford County Public Health has administered 8,100 doses of the COVID-19 vaccine. They've hosted a vaccine clinic at least weekly since it was authorized, and during the peak time, they were doing it 5 to 6 times a week for at least 10 hours a day. They've distributed over 4,600 rapid at-home COVID tests as well. While it's almost like impossible to measure the interactions that team has had during the pandemic, I just want to give you an idea. In the last 3 months, so August, September, and October of this year, they received 17,434 phone calls. That doesn't include the calls that were coming to their cell phones, or the text messages, or the emails, or the time that I must say that they have calmly and respectfully responded to folks on social media, because we all know that those folks are the worst. And they've done it with class and grace, and it has just been incredible to witness. How fortunate we are to have an organization like Crawford County Public Health in our community. I can't imagine where we'd be without them, and I don't want to. So tonight I am eager and excited and just enthusiastically celebrating Crawford County Public Health as our 2021 Community Development Award winner. Kate, can you come up here, please? To say something, or is that all right?
I merely want to say thank you. It has been a tough 2 years, but our office has been very proud to serve. We have wonderful partners in our community. When I talk to my peers, other health commissioners, and when we talk to other health departments, they don't have the support that we do, and we are so fortunate, and we recognize that. And it makes it so much easier to serve you. We never closed, and we never really considered closing because we knew we were needed. And it was our chance to rise and shine, and I'm so proud of the staff. They did. So thank you very much. We appreciate the recognition. It's certainly not needed, but we do appreciate it, and we just want you to know it's because of our community partners that we were able to do what we did. So thank you very much.
Congrats. I won't hug because it's not like appropriate. So thank you guys. Okay. That was so fun to give them an award. As you could hear by what I shared, they obviously deserved it. And sure, they don't need it, but they most certainly deserve it. So was very glad to shine a spotlight on them tonight. The second award I wanted to present quickly was that of our CU Lead Alumni Impact Award. For those of you that don't know, I am I wear a lot of hats. One of the other hats I wear is CU Lead Facilitator. So our CU Lead program is our leadership development program for the county. And we're in our 10th year. We have about 180 CU Lead alumni, people that have come through our program. And in 2018 or so, we brought the program in-house, and we really started to create a program that was experiential. We wanted to use Crawford County as a classroom. It didn't do us any good to sit around and talk about Crawford County. We had to get out in it. We had to meet the people. We had to see the businesses. We had to learn the community. We had to learn the history of it. And it's really been an incredible experience. So each year we pick out a CU Lead alumni that has really been making an impact in our community. This year we've decided to honor 2017 alum Jennifer Allerding. She is the superintendent at Galleon City Schools. I'm just going to read a couple notes about her. Her forward-thinking collaborative spirit and focus on relationship building have made her a standout leader in the county. She's focused her efforts on improvement of academics, athletics, and arts for all students within the Galleon City School District, and continuously strives to improve the experience for all who enter the district, whether it be student, teacher, or administrator. This has been a tough couple years for any kind of school administrator, and she's really done a wonderful job stepping into this new role, and we're just so proud of her, and we're proud of the work that she's done. She actively collaborates with other superintendents in the county. She represents us regionally on business advisory councils, and she's really just done an incredible job of stepping into this new role. And as a CU Lead alumni, we're just really proud of the work that she's done. So tonight, I don't think Jen is here, but I just wanted to highlight her accomplishments and tell her how proud we are of her as a CU Lead alumni. So can we give it up for Jen, even though she's not here? Thank you. I'm going to call Sherry up to the stage. Like Todd mentioned earlier, Sherry's the newest staff member to be hazed by our team, to join our team. And she's going to talk just a little bit about workforce development. And again, hang in there with us, guys. We're doing our best to be efficient with how we share things with you.
Thank you, Erin, and good evening. I'll also ask for your indulgence by following suit for using notes. I want to be sure that I'm mindful of the important characteristics that we use to select this next award winner. I'm so proud to lead the workforce efforts in Crawford County. Using community opportunity as an anchor platform has truly been one of the highlights of my career. I tease Erin and Gary almost weekly that I get so much enjoyment out of this job that I almost am feeling guilty about accepting pay. I still want my pay. I just feel guilty about it because I have so much fun. I am incredibly grateful to represent CommunityOpportunity.com as a supporting effort to close the skill gap in Crawford County. Tonight I'm honored to present the very first Workforce Development Award given from the Crawford Partnership. The Workforce Development Award winner is Angela Neff. Angela is the Crawford, yes, please, Angela Neff. Angela is a supervisor at Crawford County Jobs and Family Services. She was aware of the plans for CommunityOpportunity.com website early on. When it launched, she ensured that the ODJFS was one of the first organizations to register, clearly seeing the potential for the site. Angela has exemplified stamina, perseverance, and dedication. As many of you are likely aware, forging a new path forward is never easy, but Angela stayed true to the course. Born and raised in Crawford County, she never had any plans to enter public service. She received a degree in business programming from North Central State College, but upon accepting the position at Job and Family Services, she found immediately that she had incredible talent for helping people through training and education. She's been serving our county now for 29 years and continues to seek out ways to help. In her current role, she supervises our local job center, various workforce development programs such as publicly funded child care and emergency assistance programs, as well as a Medicaid transportation program. Angela is also the point of contact for our business services and the person the Crawford Partnership seeks out the most. Whether you're an I'm up for it person or let's get down to brass tacks, if you've been planning an expansion or experiencing a reduction in force in your business or organization, you've likely had a conversation with Angela or someone on her staff. Angela has many years of sticking by the very root of the population she serves. She coordinates and collaborates with the partnership whenever possible, and her responsiveness makes working toward common objectives seamless. I've had the pleasure of working with Angela now for several years. I can attest to the fact that Angela and her team are continuously looking for ways to identify the next best workforce solution. Her knowledge of historical and current issues Angela shares is invaluable. Thank you for all you do, Angela. Please join me in welcoming to the stage the 2021 Workforce Development Award winner, Angela Neff.
Thank you. Do you want to say a few words? Just a few words. Thank you so much for the kind words. That was awesome. Although I don't expect any kudos for doing my job, it's great to feel appreciated when you're slogging through day after day. You know, there's so many great opportunities in Crawford County, employment opportunities, educational opportunities. And we just try to do our part to connect people with those opportunities by encouraging them and helping them better themselves through employment and education. So it's been fun, it's been challenging. We're in a particularly challenging time right now, trying to get people engaged again after the pandemic. But together, working with the partnership and other people in the community, we can get there. We just got to keep at it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Angela. So with that, I'd like to invite Gary back to the stage for his Economic Development Award.
So tonight we've heard already about the incredible impact that healthcare has had in Crawford County. We're so fortunate to have this network of healthcare systems with such entrepreneurial spirit and dedication to our communities. From an economic development standpoint, healthcare represents the fastest growing employment sector. 1 in 8 U.S. citizens are employed in the healthcare industry. There were 22 million workers in healthcare industry last year, which counts for about 14%. Locally, thanks to our community opportunity site, we know that we have over 800 students currently enrolled in our school districts that have noted that they are interested in pursuing a career in healthcare. We've had over 70 healthcare career postings in the last 6 months, and our most robust occupational age sector for healthcare in Crawford County is the 23 to 34-year-old. I say this to note that Crawford County is ripe with young people eager to join the ranks, and we have no shortage of amazing healthcare systems and organizations for them to thrive in. Now, as I like to say at our office, and I always like to get up to that 20,000-foot view, I want to think about healthcare from a different perspective. So before the COVID-19 pandemic, healthcare typically was thought of as more of a cost control of healthcare costs. This focus, I think, misses the bigger picture. With healthcare organizations focused on wellness and prevention, balanced with treatment and care, economic development flourishes with productivity and efficiency. I don't know if many of you remember, but about 3 years ago, we did what's called a Crawford Conversation, and it was putting the correlation together between wellness of a community and the economic prosperity of a community, and it was amazing how much those correlated. Typically, those counties that ranked highest in health and wellness also ranked highest from an economic prosperity standpoint, too. So a well-functioning healthcare system is a prerequisite, I feel, for a well-functioning economy. I'd like to shine a spotlight tonight on a healthcare organization that has recently expanded into Crawford County and one that is worthy of recognition tonight. Ohio Health in the last 18 months has invested millions of dollars in capital investment by opening a new urgent care facility in Bucyrus, as well as a comprehensive primary care office in Galleon. They've created more than 20 new jobs, and they've expanded services, ensuring their mission to improve the health of those they serve. And it's being realized in Crawford County as well. Ohio Health is a nationally recognized nonprofit that is a healthcare outreach of the United Methodist Church, based out of Columbus and serving its communities since 1891. It is a family of 35,000 associates, physicians, and volunteers, a network of 12 hospitals, 200 plus ambulatory sites, hospice, home health, medical equipment, and other health services, spanning a 47-county area. It has been recognized by Fortune as one of the 100 best companies to work for 14 times since 2007. So we are so grateful to have Ohio Health expanding our county's healthcare offerings, and I would like to welcome Ohio Health Mansfield President Vincent Yates and Ohio Health Marion President Curtis Gingrich to the stage as we recognize Ohio Health as the 2021 Economic Development Award winner. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Appreciate all the investment.
Thank you. Thank you, Gary. And on behalf of Ohio Health and the rest of the Crawford Partnership, we really appreciate the ability to serve and to grow in our service to Crawford County. Never in my lifetime as a physician and as a leader of a care site have I seen the need for healthcare, public health, and the healthcare across the continuum to be more important than the last couple of years. As we think about the work we've done with employers to make sure that employees are safe, as we look at what we're doing in the schools here in Crawford County and other places from a sports medicine perspective, and the ability to find new ways to add value to the way in which care is provided through specifically the urgent care that helps to lower costs of care and provide another avenue for right care at the right place at the right time. So really excited to build on the work of the Johnsons and others that have been here for a long time, and looking for ways to continue to grow that and provide value to Crawford County in the future.
Kurt, thank you. And well, I won't go into the plans. I won't go into a strategic vision for 2030. But I will say this, as I look at the Crawford County 2030 vision, this table over here to my right needs to be commended. This is pretty well done. It's very well done. And if you execute on this, everybody in this audience and in this county is going to be very excited. I look at the middle box and I look at strategies and I look at promote health and wellness. Gary referenced to improve the health of those we serve. That's pretty simple. It sounds very simple. It's 8 words. And the key to that is, can you take it off the wall? Can you take it and make it into the community? I don't want people to come into my hospital unless they need to. Our focus is to keep care local, to be simple, accessible, and affordable. And that's what we're here for. So I want to thank you for putting that right front and center of this. I'd be remiss if I did not say, by the way, Kate, congratulations. That's fantastic. You do a great job, as well as the EMA in this area. So I'm very excited about that. And I'd also be remiss if I did not say thank you to both the Galleon, Crestline, and Bucyrus Chamber of Commerce boards and their teams for all that they're doing to make us welcome deeply into this community. Last but not least, I'd say thank you to the mayors and the leadership of these communities that are trying to drive economic growth, community development, and workforce development in these areas. As I think about this, Ohio Health will dock in on the health and wellness. Again, the mission is to be simple, accessible, and affordable, and to keep people out of the hospitals. But if they need to be in the hospital, I want them to have the best quality, the best service, and a safe environment. And the only way we can do that is to treat our associates well. Gary referenced this. To be on the Fortune 100 top places to work 14 years out of the last 17, and that's all industries, is pretty special. I've been blessed to work for Ohio Health for 34 years. I'm a homer, just know that in advance. But I take that deeply and seriously, as do our associates, our providers, and our volunteers. So we thank you very deeply for engaging us And Todd, thank you. I look forward to working with you more into the future. Have a great evening. Thank you. We know we're standing between you and the end of it. So, Gary. Here you go, sir.
Thank you.
All right, well, that concludes our program. For those of you who were award recipients tonight, if you would please immediately upon our dismissal here, make your way back to where the band was performing. We want to get a photo or two of each of those award recipients. If you would do that immediately after we dismiss. I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. We've had a wonderful opportunity to be able to look at the past and celebrate accomplishment, to gain a vision for the future, to be able to recognize many people who are moving this community forward. I want to thank you for your part by attending, by supporting the programming and the efforts of the partnership, and we'll look forward to what we can accomplish in the next 10 years. Thank you and good night.